Your inspired journey, guiding ordinary people to extraordinary lives. From Secret to Sacred Learning Series, The Journey of God Centered Women. Step 3, Recover Broken Trust. Mending Broken Mirrors, Healing the Strongholds that Fuel Brokenness. Facilitated by your personal change coach, Hetheru. When sleeping women wake, mountains move. Why do we have to change? There are lots of reasons to change. Some may be our circumstance, some might be our self esteem, some might be our inability to accept help, some might be relationships, family, children, our job, our future, our goals. We always need to change. Women were designed to be whole and not remain broken. We know how it happened, but do we know what to fix? When did you get your wake up call? When did you discover that you were destined for more than the ordinary journey of life? Reflect. Consider different stages of life. Maybe you were 21, 26, 33, 35, 40, 43, 49, 60. Whenever your awakening happened, whenever that wake up call happened, it's never too late. Women are broken to reorder and reveal the pieces of our truth. Our lives and the lives of our children depend on it. Reordering those broken pieces means that you go back into your past history, that you look at those circumstances that were painful. You look at those circumstances that were confusing. You look at those circumstances that were disheartening. And you begin to put the pieces together, the meaning. You start to forgive those involved, including yourself. You start to see how the universe was shaping your experiences so that you could become who you were meant to be. Although our circumstances and our challenges and our obstacles and our adversities cause some pain and some emotional stress and even chaos, it too was designed for a reason, because it was the refining process. It was shaping us and helping us to be who we were meant to be. Broken trust is a very, very difficult process to engage. When trust is broken, it often mirrors the stages of grief. It becomes a intentional process. As we work through it, we advance our level of thinking and our level of being. By divine design, you are made to put your faith in love. And that is the love of God, your grounding, your rooting. To know that regardless of the circumstances, you are not alone, and your challenges and your obstacles and your adversity and the chaos and the storms don't last always. It is designed for a reason, a season, and or a lifetime. The change, the information, the knowledge, the wisdom you gain from it was meant for a purpose and for a cause. And if you're rooted and grounded, You know in your beliefs and in your practices that God is still in control. Broken trust can take many forms. It could be someone cheating on you. It could be some type of abandonment issues. It could be molestation. It could be violence. It could be challenges in your relationship. It could be being angry. But regardless of how the trust was broken, there are typical stages. And I want to go through some of those stages with you so that you recognize the stages that you're in and so that you can go back and reflect on those stages and help yourself move forward to the next step and the next step and the next step until you have met with your healing. Stage one is typically shock, a disbelief that an event even occurred. There's anger because there's negative emotion and emotional reactions attached to it. And then there's blame and judgment to try to reason why it even happened and why it happened to me. The second stage of broken trust is that we tend to justify, and that's as we're exploring the reasons why it happened or why we did it, we need to try to make it make sense in our minds. We sometimes put distance between the incident, the person, or the action, and that's removing ourselves emotionally or physically. And then it's acceptance, trying to find the value in the person or in yourself. Did I deserve that? What did I do? Was it something that I did? And then the important thing to note about stage two is that it's critical because it becomes the breaking point in relationships, especially if that relationship is not rooted or grounded in love, God, and maturity. As a young person, as a person that lacks the maturity, these this stage can be especially frightening. The objective is to stay grounded and rooted so that you can overcome, so that you can put things in perspective, and most importantly, learn to forgive. Stage three includes this healing phase. It includes attempting to put the past behind you and focus on self, but that also means to unravel the mystery of what happened. It means to remove the blame and the judgment from yourself and from others. It means to rebuild, and that's putting your past behind you and focus on your actual partner, your child, and your own well being because it hurts and it's heavy to carry those burdens. It hurts and it's heavy to carry the emotional baggage that goes along with broken trust. The final step is forgiveness. How do you find forgiveness without judging? Without having to say, I can forgive you, but I'll never forget. Forgiveness automatically brings with it a sense of peace. It's not about having to forgive or forget. It is about gaining the trust, gaining the rooting in your beliefs. It's about healing beyond what you are physically capable of doing on your own. We can only put forth the intention to forgive. Once we express that intention and we connect that to God and God's love, we turn it over and we allow God to do what God does. And what God gives us in return for our faithfulness is a peace that surpasses all understanding. You can be peaceful in the midst of a storm or chaos. You can have peace in your life. The more you forgive, the more peace you have in your life. And again, forgiveness is something that we can intention for, that we can put in our minds to do, But ultimately, we turn that over to God and we allow God to take it in and bring it into us. Because it is the intent of the heart and it's the action behind it. Because God will always ask for an action to express your forgiveness. When you do that, you will gain the peace within your circumstance, the peace within you that can never be taken away. What is your truth? What experiences have you not yet forgiven? What experiences have you not removed the judgment on yourself, blaming you or blaming others? Please go back, look into your past history. Often in our childhood, the blueprint for how we behave as adults is locked in there. Once we can start the process of reviewing it and reflecting on it and pulling it apart to find the reality of it, because when things happen to us as a child, we think with a child's mind, with the mind of immaturity. But again, in love and with God and with maturity, that is the gaining of the years of experience and the knowledge that comes along with forgiveness and the knowledge that comes along with judgment. When you become judgment free, you can be freed from those circumstances, from the pain of childhood, from the pain of those circumstances. You can be free because you were meant to be whole and not remain broken. Thank you for sharing and growing with me. Your personal change coach, Hetheru. Look at our website. Visit it for more information, for books and resources and tools along your journey. www.yourinspiredjourney.com